Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is Christopher R. Cooper, and I am a judge in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. Wow, it does not get much better than this. To be sworn in as American citizens in Washington, D.C., at the National Archives, in the presence of the documents upon which our country and our government was created. And on the very day that the Constitution was signed, 228 years ago. I am privileged to preside over today's ceremony and to swear you in as citizens. Mr. Davis, would you please call the roll and present a motion for the admission of petitioners as United States citizens?
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the Court, when your name is called, please stand, answer here or present, and remain standing. Giovanni Simanjunta, Indonesia. Christopher Carter, Jamaica. Visora Encarnacion Castillo, Dominican Republic. Julio Daniel Gilio, Argentina. Maria Meza Mezbolins, Paraguay. Melvin Juandique Parada, El Salvador. Josiah Adedeji, Nigeria. Mary Joy Kiowa, Philippines. Sayana Satswa, Mongolia. Sarah Gilbert, United Kingdom. Awa Saul, Senegal. Margaret O'Gorman, Ireland. Simona Gerhardt, Italy. Stefan Mitchell, Bulgaria. Gaurav Singh, India. Alamayu Erhani, Ethiopia. Gloria Kuo, Cameroon. Carolina Mejia, Colombia. Sadia Boyes, Morocco. Kenneth Austin, Trinidad and Tobago. Cirillo Merin Hope, France. Karen Mercer, Canada. Natalie Zaitseva, Czech Republic. Awa Yara, Senegal. Antonio Rosso, Spain. Elsie Calix, Honduras. Ralph Emmert, Netherlands. Here. Oksana Jeffrey Pollard, United Kingdom. Present. Nadia Sabou, Present. Your Honor, there are 30 applicants for naturalization. Each of the applicants have been examined by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service, and the government has completed its investigation in each case. It has been determined that each applicant is eligible for naturalization at this time. I move that upon taking the oath of allegiance to the United States of America, each applicant present with an answer to his or her name, to include those pairs who names be granted naturalization as citizens of the United States of America.
The motion is hereby granted. Are you all ready to take your oath? please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state or sovereignty, of which or whom I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Christ the King School from Toledo, Ohio, who will be reciting the Preamble to the Constitution.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I know that you're all broken up about missing school today, but it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you here to share this great experience. It's now my pleasure to introduce David Ferrero. David has served as only the 10th Archivist of the United States since 2009. And I think I have a pretty cool job, but I got to tell you, it does not compare to David's. Not only does he get to bask in the glow of our founding documents here at the National Archives, he also is responsible for managing some 30 other regional archives and record centers throughout the country, as well as the nation's 13 presidential libraries. Prior to coming to Washington, David served as the director of the New York Public Libraries, which I am told is the largest public library system in the United States and one of the largest research libraries in the world. He has also occupied senior positions at libraries at MIT and at Duke. And if that were not enough, David is a veteran, having served in the Navy in the Vietnam War. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce the Archivist of the United States, David Ferrero.
Good morning and welcome to the Rotunda of the National Archives. First and foremost, congratulations to our new citizens. It's an honor to have you with us today. In my opinion, there's no more appropriate place to become an American citizen than here in front of the most sacred documents. Behind me is the Constitution, which remains the basis on which our federal government is structured. The Preamble, which these students just recited, contains perhaps the most important words in any of our founding documents: we the people. Those three simple words capture the essence of our democracy. Over to my right is the Declaration of Independence, the same piece of parchment that our founding fathers signed on a hot summer's day in 1776 in Philadelphia. They risked their lives, their families, and all they owned by signing it. We have them to thank for the freedoms we enjoy today. And to my left is the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. They spell out the basic personal rights and freedoms that are guaranteed to every American citizen, which you will exercise every day. I hope you get a chance to examine these three documents closely before you leave today. These documents make up our foundation as U.S. citizens. I am the grandson of Italian immigrants and great-grandson of Irish immigrants. Using passenger lists here at the National Archives, I discovered that my grandfather, at age 15, arrived in Boston from Naples aboard the ship Commonwealth on March 22nd, 1903, and my grandmother, Antonia Giorgio, also from Naples, arrived on March 8, 1909, aboard the Romantic. Many Americans have stories like mine, and now you, our newly naturalized citizens, will have your own journey to share. Here at the National Archives, we have over 12 billion pages of records. Becoming American citizens make you a part of the National Archives, too. Your naturalization records will be part of our holdings. In our research rooms across the country, people comb through these records to piece together details of their own family histories. Someday, future generations will be searching our records to discover your history. Here at the National Archives, history comes to life. We house the tangible reminders of where we have been, how far we have come, and what is possible for each and every American. Each record, large or small, is a representation of a greater story, many of which are still being told today in daily life. The National Archives tells everyone's story, and we will tell yours. This year, we've decided to do something a little different for our remarks portion of the ceremony. We've decided that three of you, our newly naturalized citizens, are going to speak about what it feels like to become an American citizen by answering the question, what does becoming a U.S. citizen mean to you?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Nadia Saibu.
Good morning, Archivist David Ferrero, distinguished guests, family, and friends. I would first like to congratulate you all for becoming citizens of one of the greatest countries in the world on this special day, Constitution Day. And thank you to the family members and guests that are here to celebrate this exciting and memorable moment with us. Especially to my mother, whose hard work and dedication made today possible for me. Thank you, Mom. My name is Nadia Saibu. I was born in Benin, a small country located in West Africa. and I have lived here in the U.S. for 18 years. Some of the answers you get to the questions, why do you want to be a U.S. citizen, are to work for the federal government or to travel abroad for a long period of time. But for me, it is bigger than that. I want to be a U.S. citizen because I want to use the great education that I received to make a difference in the world. This country has afforded me and my family many opportunities that we wouldn't have had in my home country. For example, a free education from K through 12th grade. Back home in Benin, I remember my father having to pay our school fees. So coming here, seeing that it was free was a blessing. This road to citizenship hasn't been an easy one. I matriculated through high school and then came time for college. I hadn't received my green card yet and was afraid and skeptical about getting accepted to school. But this country gives you this courage that anything is possible as long as you put your heart to it. So I applied because I believe that I too can get a college education. I got accepted to Hampton University, still no green card. So I began calling the director of admissions almost every day, pleading with her to let me enroll and ensuring her that my green card was in fact on its way. I finally received my green card towards the end of the first semester. Thank goodness. I felt anything was possible and at the reach of my fingertips, and becoming a citizen felt closer and closer. I've since received my bachelor's degree in English and currently in the process of applying to law school. I've met many people in my life who've encouraged me to follow my dreams, especially my priests and members of my church community. As President Obama stated in a speech to new citizens earlier this year, together we are a nation united not by any one culture or ethnicity or ideology, but by the principles of opportunity, equality, and liberty that are enshrined in our founding documents. That couldn't be more evident today, especially being here at the National Archives, where the original Declaration of Independence, Constitution, and Bill of Rights are kept. America has truly encouraged me to be a great human being and to use my gifts and talents to help others and to contribute to the goods of this nation and the world. Again, I congratulate you on becoming citizens of this great country and challenge you to use your rights and make a difference in your new country and the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nadia Saibu. Please welcome Mr. Nicholas Holland.
Good morning, Archivist, fellow citizens, family members, and guests. It's only a few days since 9/11. On that day, 14 years ago, I was in the Pentagon. I was a retired Royal Engineer with the British Army, now working as a civilian project manager at the start of the Pentagon renovation. If I were to try and pinpoint a pivotal moment in time, it was on that day, the day of an attack on our freedom. If you were there, nobody asked what nationality you were. It was a shared, horrifying experience. I spent the following year supervising night construction most of the time and absorbed the passion and the pride of the American people to rebuild that symbol of this country's military family. I have now lived here for nearly 20 years, and as the years rolled by, my green card was eventually processed and granted, and then the residency requirements to allow me to be here at this ceremony today. I felt the United States wanted me to be more than just part of that military family on 9/11. And now, as from today, I am part of the whole United States family, along with my new fellow citizens here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nicholas Holland. Please welcome Ms. Oksana Romanyuk.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great honor to be part of this ceremony today, along with all my fellow citizens now. And I'm truly grateful for the trust the U.S. government put in me when approving my application for naturalization. I came to the United States in August of 2006 from Russia, and I was an exchange student at the University of New Mexico. I studied linguistics, and the goal for my trip was simply to improve my English. I still remember the day 11 years ago when my father came home from work and he brought me a gift. It was an English textbook. He sat me down and told me, you have to start learning English. It's the language of the world. It's the language of the international trade, of travel, and you will need it for your future career. And it is remarkable how in those words, he basically laid out the direction for my future. Because of his encouragement and my perseverance in studying English, I was able to come to the United States. I was able to immerse myself in its rich culture and learn the traditions and meet amazing people along the way. So besides excelling at school, it was important for me to also develop new friendships. And I ended up being friends with Americans, Native Americans living in the state of New Mexico. So my friend, who is Navajo, actually took me down to the reservation and showed me their life, and it was a memorable and enriching experience that I still remember. And I was friends with people who were from Latin America, and I picked up some Spanish on the way. And of course, I had many friends who were international students as well. And this is why I love this country. It's because it's able to bring so many different cultures together and make foreigners feel at home and feel welcomed. And I can't just stop being amazed at how helpful, open, and friendly people are in this country. So I was able, through living here, I was able to develop just a much deeper and better understanding of various cultures. And when I got back from my recent trip to Russia, I visited my family for about a month. And you won't believe it, as soon as I stepped down onto the US soil at the Washington-Dulles airport, I felt the spirit of freedom and acceptance right away. And just let me tell you a little bit more about this. So I had many conversations with my family and friends in Russia about my everyday life here, what I believe in and what I stand for. And very often, they just didn't really get me. They just didn't really understand my ideas and my beliefs. And that's what I feel here in this country. I feel heard, I feel understood, I feel protected. And I firmly believe that our future success depends on respect, on tolerance, on harmony and inclusion. And these values I find in the American society. It can be challenging as it can be exciting, but we should never stop trying make things better. And I truly appreciate how the US president and the government take care of their people. I love how Americans just exhibit the love for the country so much. They put their lives on the line to protect the rights, peace, and freedom of their fellow citizens. And I want to be part of it. So thank you again so much for the trust and for your support. I congratulate everyone. I won't disappoint. And God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Ms. Oksana Romanyuk. Please welcome Leon Rodriguez, Director, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services.
First of all, let me start by congratulating our new Americans. Actually, can I ask everybody for another round of applause for them? I'd like to also take a moment to thank Judge Cooper for delivering the oath of citizenship with such grace, and to Mr. Ferriero, the National Archivist, for bringing us to this really amazing place to be here not only on this day of your naturalization, but also on Constitution and Citizenship Day, which I will talk about in a moment. I also want to thank Nadia, Jeffrey, and Oksana for really speaking from the heart about the meaning and value of citizenship. Oksana, in particular, I noticed that you were speaking not necessarily with prepared text, so if you would like to join the legal profession, you have shown the first requirement. This happens to be the National Archive, Mr. Ferriero, one of my favorite public spaces here, actually in the world, but certainly particularly here in the United States. And I would ask you after the ceremony today to take a walk around and to see not just some of the historical documents, well-known historical documents like the Declaration of Independence, but really the full wealth of what is in this building. What is amazing about the things that you will see are living and breathing documents, living and breathing artifacts of things that happened to and were done by real people. Real people, real Americans, just like you. I have often spoken at these ceremonies about my own patriotism, which is based in a fundamental belief in what America can do and in what Americans can do. I myself am the son, grandson, and great-grandson of immigrants from other parts of the world. And what I believe profoundly about this country is that we not only believe that everything is possible, we actually have the get up and go to make the possibilities realities. And as I look through the biographies of those of you who are here today, we see many examples of just that. Today, September 17th, as I mentioned before, it's Constitution Day and Citizenship Day. It honors the signing of the Constitution on September 17th, 1787, and in 1940, it became I Am American Day. And every year, my agency marks this important occasion on what it means to be a United States citizen. This day, we are going to be welcoming thousands of new citizens throughout the country. Today also, we are announcing nearly $10 million in grants to 40 organizations that will help permanent residents prepare and apply for U.S. citizenship. So the trail that you blaze today, we will work to get others, the 9 million who are still waiting to become U.S. citizens. You have blazed the trail that we will help them follow. We will continue to roll out customer service enhancements. We're announcing new partnerships in several cities to promote citizenship, education, and awareness. We, the people of this nation, we share the collective goal of making our country a more perfect union. The words of the Constitution have served to guide our nation as it has grown, prospered, and become a beacon of hope. There are some wonderful examples here today of what that hope is all about. We have a physician here from Trinidad and Tobago who at the age of 79, like my father, who by the way at the age of 78 is doing the same thing, is still working. In his case as a physician and specifically as a rheumatologist, because in fact in our country we have a shortage of physicians of that profession. We have a consultant from Canada, a hospitality assistant from Honduras, a news analyst from the Netherlands, a teacher from Italy. Think about this amazing mosaic of human beings. We even have an Uber driver for those of us who do not have a ride home this afternoon. As an American, you have new opportunities to participate in our democracy. As a nation of immigrants, your presence here contributes to that vitality. I really appreciated Nadia's observation that it's not just about what you get by becoming a new citizen, but the opportunity that you now have to give as a new citizen. Vote, participate in your communal life, become volunteers, because the opportunities to do that sort of thing are limitless in America. You may volunteer in a local organization. Some of you may serve in the armed forces or on a jury, Judge Cooper. You may own a business. You may run for public office. All of that is possible now. So I congratulate each one of you on this important milestone. Your hard work and determination have led you here, and I welcome you all as our newest citizens. Congratulations to you all.
So this is really a treat for me to preside over this ceremony today, because when I usually look out over my courtroom, I see angry faces, I see somber faces, and at the end of every hearing or every trial, at least half of the people go away upset. So it's a rare and very much welcomed opportunity to look out and to see so many smiling faces. And I know how happy and relieved you must all be to have finally taken the oath and become citizens. And after waiting for as long as I suspect some of you have, I know that you will always treasure the new rights and privileges that you have now and that all U.S. citizens enjoy. But I will just remind you, as I close the proceedings today, that with any right also comes responsibility. And Director Rodriguez noted some of those, and he referred to them as opportunities. And while they are opportunities, I would make a somewhat stronger point. They are responsibilities and obligations of citizenship. So one of the responsibilities that you all have is to actually exercise your new rights and to set an example for the far too many Americans who take their rights of citizenship for granted. And I will simply end by exhorting you to do that by voting. The United States ranks 31st among 34 advanced democracies in voter turnout. We can do better. Help us to do better. You do it by respecting the law and encouraging others to do likewise. It goes without saying that I never want to see any of you on the wrong side of my courtroom. You do it by serving on juries. Think about it. Jury service is one of the few opportunities, one of the few times where Americans of all races, all backgrounds, all ages, all occupations gather together to solve problems and to make decisions. You do it by volunteering in your communities, by staying informed about issues and ideas, by engaging in ideas and issues, and by letting your voices be heard on those that you care about. And finally, you do it by helping others and by being tolerant and open to other viewpoints. And after hearing from Nadia and from Jeffrey and Oksana, and by looking out over all of the others of you, I have every confidence that you're up to that task. So congratulations again, and I wish you all the very, very best.
This concludes today's naturalization ceremony. Please remain in your seats for the presentation of certificates. Family and friends, please join us for light refreshments in the Archivist's reception room. Please take all belongings with you, as you will not be returning to this area. NARA staff will be along the route to guide you to the reception.